center punched it. Oh, yeah. How's it going, shooters? This is Chris with Backyard Slingshots. Welcome to another video. I'm going to be doing a series on something that not a whole lot of people talk about. For some, it seems to be like the black sheep of slingshots. For others, it's kind of a, I'll dabble in it, but that's not what I'm going to do. For me, it's something that I enjoy a lot more than I do a standardized frame. So in that, this series is going to be nothing to do with a standard frame. So we're going to put that one away. On my table here, I've got what a lot of people talk about in the slingshot community as not real slingshots. Sorry, if I can put bands on it and send steel or send clay or send a pebble, it's a slingshot. They say it's not real slingshots. They're kind of the black sheep or the holy grail of you're going to hit your hand or your frame every shot. And that's not wholly true. That is not all true. And I think it's that fear that pushes them away from these particular frames. And here, in a little bit, I'll pan through with a different camera and you can see what we've got on the table. Alright, so this is a little selection of pickle forks. And as you see, in this selection of pickle forks, I've got a whole slew of stuff from like just standard straight grips, tadpole styles like Mark Johnson, and Moan Waller's take on Mark's tadpole, Slingshot Underground planchette. This is the original planchette. This is a V2 planchette from Slingshots Underground. Jordan Smothers from Smo Slings. That's his BFS. This is the Twister, and that's an OPFS. Prime Fork Catapults. Mr. Andre at Prime Fork. This is his Hunter PFS. This came to me from Mikey Paul. Thank you again, Mikey, for that one. Simple Shot Flippin' Pickle. Probably my second favorite or third favorite pickle fork. I mean, a $20 pickle fork, and I can all but drive nails with that thing. That's one of my favorites. Something I made with a scrap slingshot. It shoots, but it's just, there's no name, there's no design to it. It's just, I went with the flow on that one. This is the Bone Top. This is a strictly tube shooter. I put a sort of like a wave, I guess, attachment on it, but it goes around the snugs and secures the tubes. Hunter James at Taking Shots. This is the Magpie that I've had for over a year now. This is my #1 favorite slingshot. This thing does not really go anywhere that I'm not. This is always with me. Another design based on jeans of either a planchette or an arrowhead, if you're superstitious on the Ouija board idea, but arrowhead based or planchette based designs. This one's also from Taking Shots with Hunter James. But pickle forks can be from your full-on customs to just your simple polystyrene or ABS or HDPE style plastics. You really don't have to go with anything. Best example is right here what I made. This is D-Guys OPFS. 1/4 inch thick piece of birch plywood. Tube sleeves, tubes, and a high style speed pouch. Pickle fork, man. They are very simple designs, very easy. And once you understand what the style to shoot them, very, very fun to shoot. So, but this series, I'm going to start off with more so frame styles, and a good way to start into this. Now the better starter frames do have to be handmade or custom made, hence why I don't have any of them here on the table. And that would be the Pickle Bone, which Robert Pursley, Robert Rambles On, he's got the one that I had made. But the Pickle Bone, the Tiny Turtle, Magpie series on their Hunter series, which is a brother to this frame here. There's a Magpie with a bigger gap. We call those gappers. And by gapper is, this is probably a better example. So this is your normal gapped slingshot. You got anywhere from 30 to 50 mil in between your inner forks. So your normal pickle fork, we'll go with one that I built. This is just a blah example, but your normal pickle fork has a less than 12 millimeter gap in between the fork tines, or a 1/2 inch gap. So, and the gap is solely there to tie on either your tabs or your flat bands. A gapper, like this OPFS here, that's HDPE, probably from Jordan Smothers, is bigger or slightly bigger than a 1/2 inch. So when you get a gapper, hence why I say it's better to start with a gapper than a traditional PFS. A gapper, there's an 8 millimeter steel or 5/16. If you mess up, you have a chance of this going through the gap. Whereas your normal PFS, staying with the same platform of an OPFS, it really ain't fitting through there. You're gonna smack that every time. So, in that we're gonna go on a series of getting into pickle forks. Where to start, what to get, how to set them up. So on this one I'm just gonna going over some frames. I might even send a couple shots just for the fun of sending the shots. But we're just gonna go over some of the frames. A lot of these have to be custom built. Jordan Smothers offers some pickle forks. You've got an OPFS. Obviously, he can make the OPFS. And Jordan also has his BFS, his Bigfoot shooter. Both are very, very good setups. And if you ask Jordan, I'm pretty sure he can open this gap for you to get you that comfort zone to get you started. At the same time, coming from Jordan is something he kind of beat me to the punch on, and the guys up at ACC have seen this. This is the Twister PFS. So my Twister done into a pickle fork. So he can also possibly open the gap here. Your sacrifice to that, if you want the same width, is you're going to have narrower tips, which means narrower bands or strictly tubes with tabs. And in the world of pickle forks, a pickle fork can be made from literally anything. I've seen a pickle fork made from a paintbrush, all the way down to going to your stick shots, which I have not yet shot, which have no gap. I know Hunter James at Taken Shots has made a no gap slingshot. He calls his Little Can Killer, and same deal, it's a pickle fork. And the Little Can Killer works off of a frameless band set. So you would end up taking a frameless, slapping it on, and go out and shoot. And I believe he's also had it set up where he had binding posts, like Matt from You'll Shoot Your Eye Out. But regardless of your frame that you choose, gapper or standard pickle fork or no gap pickle fork, the important thing on a pickle fork, so that's your standard. If I were to shoot that way, I am going to smack that frame every time. The important thing of a pickle fork is to twist 90 and in that 90, a slight tweak. This is where a lot of people will shoot a pickle fork full butterfly, because when I get to the full butterfly extension, I automatically am putting that tweak into the pouch at the back end. So, in that, it doesn't matter which frame you pick up, as long as you're doing those things, you will send it over the top every time. Whether it's with tubes, like I'm shooting here, all three of those were high, by the way. Whether it's with tubes or with flat bands. As long as you're doing, and flat bands can be set up differently. These are set up to shoot PFS style. I have another one I'll grab here in a second after I send a couple. But I have another one that's set up in a different style. That one I drilled it. That one was low. And that one was low. That was with the Simple Shot Flippin' Pickle. Same price as Jordan Smothers as far as the price of the frame, right around $25 to $30. This is injected molded plastic. The big difference when you're going for Simple Shot is that's how it comes. No bands, but that's how it comes. You got the tight gap, your wrap and tuck, and an ergo style grip. Jordan Smothers, you got HDPE, which is flat out, 1/2 inch. But if you ask, I'm pretty sure he can open that up for you. That way you're a little more comfortable with it. So, talking about standard band setups, that's short draw. And still the same. You're going to twist and tweak. As long as you're doing it, she's going to clear. These are all going low because I don't shoot these short draw very much, if at all. See if I can fix that. There we go. So, in the world of slingshots, a pickle fork is still a slingshot. It just requires a unique style. So it takes you away from that norm of everything perfectly lined up, everything right where it needs to be with that smooth release. It takes you away from that. If this is something you guys want to see and more information on it, keep your eyes open. I will be doing more with these pickle forks, and I will be giving advice and tips on ways you can avoid frame hits, and ways you can set up bands, ways you can set up a pouch, all to help improve the odds of clearing your forks. So, it's not something that is the black sheep anymore. This is part of our community. Pickle forks are here. We can find them in naturals, and we can find them in custom mades. So, this has been Chris with Backyard Slingshots, diving into something that not a whole lot of people want to. Until next time, shooters, keep it in the 10 ring.